Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video on the Darts World channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at some of the craziest and strangest reasons that professional darts players have been fined. So without further ado, let's get straight into it and take a look at our first incident. A decade ago, Austria's Robyn Rodriguez was one of the PDC's brightest young talents, having reached the 2014 World Youth Final where he was narrowly defeated on the stage by Keegan Brown. Roby grew up around Austria's best ever player, Mentor Sulevic, giving him the ideal mentor. 2017 saw him make his third World Championship appearance, and it was the first time that he hadn't lost 3-0 on the Ali Pali stage, instead losing in a deciding set against Dave Chisnall, encouragingly putting in his first 90 plus average at the sport's most famous venue. It was then time for him to push on in the rest of the season, but he made a poor start in the senior events, failing to make it past the last 64 in any of the 4 UK Open qualifiers he played in, and losing in the first round of the first 2 Players' Championship events. The poor form in the qualifiers meant that he failed to qualify for the UK Open, having made the second round of the major a year earlier. Then, when the entry list came out for the 3rd and 4th Players' Championship events of the season, he was not on it, with no reason being given. We eventually did find out why, and it was for a crazy reason. Roby had been suspended from those events and fined £1,000 after being found guilty of urinating in public outside a venue on the 4th of February, the same day as the second UK Open qualifier, where he beat Connor Scott and Richie Burnett before losing 6-1 to Dean Stewart. That crazy act saw him breach the famous DRA rule 3.1, which states that no person bound by the DRA rules should make or cause to be made any statement or commit or cause to be committed any act which, in the reasonable view of the DRA, is likely to bring into disrepute the sport of darts. And well, I guess Roby's act very much did so. Roby was also fined £500 and given a formal warning later in the year for causing disruption at the practice board, leading to altercation and pushing at a Players' Championship event in April. Roby fell from 41st to 59th in the rankings that year and has never ended a year ranked higher than 49th since. He also looks set to lose his tour card this year. Another player who got in trouble and was fined in 2017 was 5-time world champion Raymond van Barneveld. At that year's World Grand Prix, he began with a comfortable 2-0 win over Kyle Anderson to move through to round 2, where he beat fellow former BDO world champ Steve Beaton 3-0 to move through to the quarter-finals without having dropped a set. Next up for Raymond was crowd favourite, the Scotsman Big John Henderson. Heading into the game, Raymond was the heavy favourite at 1-4 with Hendo priced at 11-4. But Big John managed to cause a big upset, beating Raymond 3-1 to reach a major semi-final for the first time in his career. We eventually found out that following the game, Raymond was found guilty of having spit on a camera, thrown a drink over the practice room wall causing damage, as well as throwing his darts case on the floor and kicking it. As a result, he was fined £5,000 in total, with £2,000 of that being suspended. Raymond did respond to this and said the following: "At the end of the game, I took a sugar cube because of my diabetes. I spat out what was left of it. For the rest of his behaviour, he said, it was not good behaviour, but I was heavily frustrated. Gary Anderson and Phil Taylor did not participate in the tournament, and Henderson had already eliminated Michael Van Goen. So, the road was pretty open for me to finally win that tournament, and normally, I beat Henderson 9 times out of 10, just not at that moment, and I really hated that. Again, what I did wasn't good, but there is nuance to it. With sitting at Sugar Cube, I think that the practice room is a private space where you have to be able to do things privately. So, to have to pay more than €3,000 for this is sour. Will I appeal? No. I'll just leave it. It's been a while now, and the money's already been written off." Raymond was fined for another strange reason at the 2018 German Darts Masters, which broke the record for the highest attended darts event in history with over 20,000 fans. Barney made a bad start to his quarter-final best of 15 game against Peter Wright, going 5-1 down, but he then managed to recover, winning 6 of the next 8 legs, including leg 14 against the throw, to force the decider where he had the throw. Despite that advantage, it was Wright who managed to comfortably win, taking out 91 while Star VB wasn't on a finish. Following the match, a fan who'd presumably been gambling on the game sent an abusive message to Barney on Facebook Messenger. Raymond was understandably angry with that, but he sent a shocking response wishing death on the fan and his family, and then posted a screenshot of the message on Twitter. This was obviously wrong from Barney, and he swiftly deleted the tweet before posting the following statement. Yesterday, I posted a tweet from the horrible things you sometimes get after a loss. In my anger, at that moment, I replied, which I shouldn't have done in a manner that is not worthy of a 5-time world champion. I apologise for that. Need to ignore those messages, but not always easy. As a result of the messages and the tweet, Barney was fined £3,000 and given a suspended 3-month ban until the end of the 2019 World Championship. A player who was given a non-suspended ban for a shocking social media comment was Pete Dias, who held a PDC Tour card for 2014 and 15. Dias went to Q School in an attempt to win it back at the start of 2016, but was unsuccessful, meaning he instead played on the Challenge Tour that year. However, in September, he posted a highly offensive tweet about the Paralympics, which were taking place at the time in Rio. After deleting it, he posted the following apology. Morning Twitter world, yesterday I said something that was out of order, was a joke that went too far, and didn't mean to offend anyone. I have family and friends with disabilities and illnesses, and have lost my own mother due to tragedy. Anyone who is, and was offended, I'm sorry. The DRA posted their own statement saying the following. Following a comment made on social media by Pete Dias, a PDP associate member who competes on the PDC's Challenge Tour, the Darts Regulation Authority has suspended the player with immediate effect and will launch an investigation. When the DRA case list came out at the end of the year, it's revealed that Dias was given a 4-month ban. Now, let's take a look at a fine for a player's performance, that of Mickey Mansell during the 2019 World Championship in a first round game against Jim Long. In a very poor and lengthy game, Long won 3-1, averaging just 75.33, with Mansell's average below 75. The game was so bad that social media users now award the Mansell Long Award to the worst game at Ali Pali every year. When the DRA fines came out, Mansell was given a strange £500 fine for not playing to the best of his ability, as well as given a warning as to his future behaviour. During the game, Mansell had averaged higher than Long in 3 of the 4 sets, but in the other one, he averaged just 66.32. In a statement, Mansell said that he always played the best darts that he could. My recent fine is both frustrating and disappointing for me, not least because I feel that I've let both myself and my family down. This, however, had nothing to do with a lack of effort or desire to do well. The only thing that I'm guilty of is not playing as well as I know that I can and not capitalising on a good position that I put myself in. There is no suggestion that I did anything that was corrupt, and my integrity was not called into question by the PDC or the DRA. I considered appealing the decision, but decided against this, so the issue could be put to bed and I could move on and continue to play darts to the best of my ability. The fine was very controversial, with several big names such as Wayne Mardell and Paul Nicholson calling out the DRA. Thanks for watching that video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to subscribe, as currently just 15% of you are, and I'm getting really close to hitting 15k, which would be great to do before the end of the year. You can also hit the bell icon if you want to get notified whenever I upload a brand new darts video.